Hi, I'm Suzanne Truchard, and I'm here to do a career profile on a gentleman named Stan Crippen. And his job title is Family Systems Therapist, MFCC, which is Marriage, Family, and Child Counseling. He does work in his home in Wildomar, California. It's a very small community. He is an older gentleman, and he does not have an online site. Most of his clients within the last several years have been through the LDS Church. And his working environment, well, Stan has complete flexibility in his work environment and his work hours. He works independently from his home. And so he established his den to be his area where he can work with people. For this type of job, the hours can be very sporadic, he said, and very unique. He only works part-time now. This is his second job. And for this type of job, the sessions are usually about 60 minutes. They may go a little longer depending on the individual and what needs to be done at that time with the individual. And referrals come from bishops from all over the area and also from past clients. He gets the referrals. The clients are marital, family, and individual. We talked about stressors of this particular type of job as a counselor, and Stan had a lot to say about this particular aspect of the job. He suffers from anxiety because of this job. About 80% of the clients are sexually abused or are the abusers. And I noticed that while I was talking with Stan that he's a very sensitive soul, and it bothers him that people have a lot of problems. It doesn't just go away after the client leaves. And hence, that is why it's a second job now. And he's only doing it, he only was doing it part-time. He stated that people don't get into dysfunction overnight, but they want to get out of dysfunction right away. That's a real stressor. It really stresses him out thinking that they want it really fast to be healed, but it took years sometimes to become dysfunctional. And he said, and I quote, most people do not hesitate to go to the doctor when they have a physical illness, but a mental illness, they don't always want to go for help. He was honest, and he stated that he ends up doing a lot of service for free. And that's hard when you're trying to support a family and yourself. The hardest thing about his job is the success rate is not high. And he said that by the time people come to me, they are at their last resort. By that time, they are not as motivated to get healthy. And those were his words. He also said that people don't like change. But one thing that he did say that I really felt was very sweet, he said, and I quote, I probably hug my children and my wife more than most people because things have been put into perspective for me. The typical benefits of a private contractor, they really don't get any benefits of any kind when it comes to health benefits, retirement benefits, those type of things. Those who work in this field might have to supply their own health insurance and retirement plans, unless they are in a larger private firm. Then he said sometimes that they do get benefits. But Stan said that his benefits basically come from just helping people. And the job tasks, the common job tasks in his career, he said you're constantly working and communicating with people, and you work with married couples, families, and individuals. He said you are trained to intervene with families and individuals who are experiencing distress and are in need of counseling. He likes to bring the family systems approach into his sessions, and he tries to discover where the problems are being created. Stan stated he listens about 85% of the time, and he talks about 15% of the time. He works at helping them to progress. He stated that you have to keep a record of some sort for each session and for each client. For him, he likes to use the chart method. And so he keeps these charts, and they have valuable information regarding each session. And then he puts his information that he feels might be beneficial for that person in that chart. His education is that Stan has a degree in marriage family studies. He also has a degree, a master's in psychology. He also mentioned that he had possibly a master's in teaching in history, because he is teaching history now, and did the psychiatry, or the counseling on the side, part-time. And he received a marriage, child, family license through the state of California. The starting salary range, he said, for full-time in the counseling program that he had set up could be around up to $44,240, right around there as a starting salary. And an experienced full-time person could make a salary all the way up to $200,000. And the thing that I noted and that he stated was that he felt that most therapists do not get paid as much as they are worth. He personally does not know of any counselor or therapist who is rich. He said if you are in a good practice or a good firm, you can make 120 or more per session. And again, each session would be 50 minutes to 60 minutes, 50 minutes to an hour. There is a desire to create more counseling programs throughout the United States, he said, and this is just miscellaneous information on his career. More and more people are finding that therapy really does help individuals, marriages, and families. He talked a little bit about nowadays, because I mentioned he is an older gentleman, so it's been a little while. But nowadays, he says there's much more information, studies showing that counseling does actually help. So he feels we need a lot more help in the therapy industry. And this is my career profile. And I had a great time interviewing Stan. I learned a lot from him. So I hope you enjoyed it. Bye-bye.